Are you totally different when it comes to sex and copulation? Have you judged yourself out of receiving pleasure? Have you judged yourself into receiving pleasure in certain ways and excluded other ways? Would you like to know more about what else is possible with bodies? Would you like to create confidence in the bedroom and beyond? How has your sex life or lack of it affected other areas of your life? Everyone has the potency to be a sexual superhero. Get ready to listen, sense, and play with the sexualness that is you. Now, here's the host of The Pleasure Zone, pleasure diva and body whisperer, Milica Jelenic.
Well, hello, sweet pleasure seekers. So glad that you could be joining us this evening on this wonderful, wonderful day in February. And we're just enjoying all this fabulous time and just, a few days before Valentine's Day. And I thought I would invite my friend Lisa Benitz on, Lisa is actually a super gifted space whisperer. What the heck is that? She can actually communicate with spaces wherever you are in the world. She can pick up on your house, she can pick up on your office, your building, commercial. It doesn't matter what it is. She can tune in, and she is fully aware of what is required in those spaces. Actually, thanks to Lisa's awareness, I actually ended up getting an office. Yay! It was really kind of a fun day when I came home and said, my friend Lisa says that I need to get an office, and then Mike got on it. It took him a few months, but he got on it and he built me a space, which was really cool. So Lisa has super keen awareness when it comes to many things, and spaces are her specialty. She's a Feng Shui Master, also an Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator, empowerment coach, writer, and speaker with over 20 years of track record working with residential and commercial spaces. So the also thing that Lisa happens to do is that she has her own radio show here on the Inspired Choices Network called Infinite Energies. So if you haven't listened to that, she has lots of tips and tools for doing things with all kinds of spaces, and also with selling spaces, with you name it when it comes to homes and environments, she's on it. So I just thought it would be really fun to tap into some ideas on how to sexify your space, because there's so many times that, you could be thinking, I really want to go on a holiday, and then you end up at somewhere where it's not necessarily the sexiest, and you could have probably even just stayed home and invested the money in making your own space a little more glammed up, sexy, and inviting. So how do you do that? And how do we actually create a sexified space? What does that include? And what is that, Lisa? I just use the word sexify in the title because it's your word. So how do you sexify a space?
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, thank you for the great intro. And so how do you sexify a space? And really, it's all coming from the person or the individuals who have and if we're talking specifically, are we talking about bedrooms, or are we talking about all spaces? What room would you like to speak to today?
Well, let's start with the bedroom, because a lot of people, that's usually where they take their they take their lovers into their bedrooms usually. In my house, sometimes it's the kitchen counter. It just depends. But,
Okay, awesome. Well, the bedroom, it's funny. I over the years, I'm aware of different sort of, I would call it, different jobs that people bring into the bedroom. Everything from late night watching sports and movies to sitting on the bed with their computers or iPads and doing work and having their file folders surrounding their bedroom. And so it's an extension oftentimes of people's work environments. And so immediately when you see that, you just sort of go, okay, well, that's not fun, with the television going or all these other things that are going on. And then if kids are sleeping with their mom and dad, or sleeping between the mom and dad, or jumping in if you have kids, or animals jumping in, sometimes that just can create a little more of a challenge for the couple that are really wanting to have an enjoyable evening and or many evenings. So the first thing I invite people to do is eliminate things first that are cluttering the room, that aren't actually contributing to the couple for having an enjoyable evening, that is all about them. So whatever that is, whether that's having a television that's staring at them so you can have a beautiful scarf or something hanging over the big black box. Personally, I love to see black boxes removed from bedrooms because that becomes a distractor. And then it's like just playing with dimmer switches, sexy chandeliers, beautiful music, tapping into all the senses. So having beautiful sexy sheets and pillows, and sometimes even changing the direction of the bed can create something brand new. So it could be the same room that a couple has been in for 16 years, but when you can actually look at what has maybe created a couple from not wanting to be together to sort of looking at it as though it's a brand new relationship or waking up next to somebody new, you want to look at all the things that you can change. That, like you said, if you're not flying out of town and you have this space, why wouldn't you want to maximize it and create these beautiful spaces with, candles and lighting and beautiful sheets and flowers and whatever is going to turn on each individual that is going to have them focus on each other.
Yeah, I think so. The clutter in the TVs, I've actually never had I think once I had a TV in my room years ago, and I had injured myself and I couldn't get out of bed. So at the time, I was about, I don't know, maybe it was about 15 or 20 years ago or something, and the person I was living with at the time brought the TV into the room so I could watch TV because I couldn't move. But other than that, I'm not a fan either of the TV in the bedroom kind of scenario, because I find then I would just, I know me, I would probably just get engulfed in some kind of Netflix series and then avoid my lover. And I'd be like, hi, so I married you? Great. So I'm going to watch Netflix instead. Not having a TV in my room is like saying, I love you more than Netflix.
Yeah, and I've seen over the years where I've even had couples where the man had his like Game Boy or with his games on the television playing next to his wife, and I'm going,
wow.
seriously, like seriously, you're no wonder you're not getting any action here.
Yeah, wow,
so,
right?
Yeah.
His fingers are busy, but just not on her body. Jeez, what if her body was like the Nintendo joystick? Gee.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Well, hey, I love that.
Yeah. You want to flick something around. I have body parts to flick around. Jeez.
Oh, that's hilarious. So sexifying a space is really a visual invitation so when someone walks into your bedroom, they sort of immediately know that this room is a space of nurturing and kindness and playtime for the couple. And often people, if they have, and they're highly religious and they have the cross over the bed or the big picture of Jesus
sexy.
Christ. Oh, well, yeah. So if you're looking at a brand new relationship and you have these images that are really a part of you in your religion, it's not that that's not to be honored, but perhaps in the bedroom having all these eyes looking down on you, almost with the form of judgment. Are you doing everything correct? Are you being, whatever that is? And photographs. If you're in a committed relationship, then the photos in the bedroom are really of the two of you in joyful times, in intimate times, and not bringing in photos of, previous members of family that have passed on.
Or
you don't have the dead ex. Oh, definitely not. Definitely not the exes. So you don't want a little bit of that conflicting energy in a bedroom. It's really about that individual with the other individual, and so Yeah, and fireplaces are fun. For Canada, when we're in the middle of winter, you can get these really glamorous fireplaces that you can have that they're beautiful, and they have a glow, and they emit some heat, and so there's lots of ways of creating your bedroom as a playground.
I love that. I really love the fireplaces. I have one in my office, so I've kind of sexified my office with that. And it wasn't, yeah, perhaps next year we'll be getting one in the bedroom too, but I do find it's funny, like walking into people's homes sometimes, and they're trying to maybe honor their family by sticking their family members all over their bedroom or whatever, but my grandmother used to do that, and she'd have like all her kids and all the grandkids, and I would think, is that actually, like, looking at it now, and even though when I was a kid I thought their bedroom was kind of like sterile, like I never thought of my grandparents as people who actually got it on, because their bedroom always had like a sterile kind of like feeling to it. There was nothing sexy about that bedroom. Mind you, my grandfather was a doctor, so things were rather kind of, at the time, kept kind of sterile. But it's
and probably quite nickel.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, so the other thing is walking into bedrooms that have piles of to-dos. Yeah. So if you can imagine the woman that's, in the moment is having her to-do list while the man is completely focused on her and going, are you enjoying yourself? And she's going, mm-hmm. And yet
her to-do list is spread on the whole wall. Yeah.
Her to-do list is piled next to her. Her phone's buzzing. The computer's there. There's a pile of laundry that she just pushed to the side. I mean, there's just a million things that, and as mothers, I can completely appreciate that there are times in our lives that we've all gone, are you kidding me? You fit it in when you fit it in. But I can really say, you know what? When you create the environment that is really honoring for each of you, and create sort of a boundary that this is not my laundry room or my office or the place that I organize emails or whatever that is for you. When you create those boundaries, you create another space in your home for all those other things.
That's true. If your bedroom really can be like sexified, how much more can that invite you to all of that? Like you were saying, if the woman's not distracted by the laundry piles or computer or to-do lists, how much more can you actually enjoy each other in that space with no distractions in it? And for me too, and this was actually between you and Christine McIver, you guys were both like, you guys both mentioned this to me, which is funny. You might not even remember it, but when you were tapping into my space, you were like, you're going to need to get some things, like something about the doors in my house, because I didn't have doors on anything. I had specific doors in mind that I really, really wanted to get. And they were like kind of more like Japanese shoji screens. And I wanted like Japanese shoji screens across, but made with glass. It was more like etched glass. And I had this vision of them, and I had priced them out, and I knew they were going to cost me about a couple $1,000 for whatever. So I was like putting money aside for the doors that I wanted, and I thought, I'm not having second anything. I just want the doors that I want, and I'll wait for them. But I think it was both you and Christine were like, no, just in the meantime, put something up, like a curtain. And like and then sometimes I would talk to Christine, and she's like, did you do the curtain? Did you do the curtain? Did you do the curtain? I'm like, shut up. So when we finally did put the curtain up, because Mike was like, well, aren't we going to put up doors? I'm like, whenever we get those doors, we'll put them up. But in the meantime, so then when we did put up the curtains, they're like velour kind of curtains, and our closet's pretty long. It's like one of those ones that goes across like the room. It's not a walk-in, it's a really long closet with all kinds of like shelving and stuff in it, right? And so when I had renovated the house, I just took out all the old doors because I couldn't stand them. I took everything off. I tore my house down to the beams actually after 48 hours after I bought it, I tore everything out of it down to the beams, including all the older electrical, and I was like, now what? Anyway, so it got rebuilt. No doors on anything. And now we've got these beautiful velourish curtains on them, and Mike had actually said, he's like, oh, you know what? It's actually such a relief, like having those curtains on there. I'm like, I've been telling you, it drives me crazy looking at the clothes. So he gets it now,
well,
and so now,
yeah. So what happens
closets are
when
coming into the house? It's really nice.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that. So how many people look into their closets and leave their doors open or don't put up something that actually gives them that visual ease, that visual break? And so clothes talk to us, books talk to us. If you have an ensuite bathroom, the bathroom talks to you. So if you haven't yet, then start creating that consistency of closing those doors, and even having so that you can get, it's so inexpensive to get the hinges that automatically close. So you go into the closet, you choose what you really require. If you don't have lighting, then get lighting that lights everything up, and get whatever it is in your closet out, and then let the door automatically close behind you so that you're not staring at it all day, all night. Yeah,
which isn't sexy either.
That's not sexy.
No, for OCD people like me who then look at stuff in the closet and then want to reorganize everything by color, or refold everything so that it looks like it's in a shop, it's actually aggravating, right?
Yeah. So your
whole
like body
thing. Yeah. Your
body's not going to relax for sure.
No. I got to get that special folding thing, and it's like, So yeah, that's nothing about that is sexy. So yeah, you don't have to look at it. It's kind of a gift. And then when it is organized and you're aware of it, that can be, for me, one of the sexiest things is like to see, so in my bathroom, I have like open shelving that I can see my towels, and I love to see my towels folded in such a way that they're just like stacked by size and they're stacked in gradation of color. I just fucking love it. It's just like the craziest thing, but it makes me that for me is like sexifying my space when my towels are like nicely lined up.
I have a question. Is that something that you've envisioned from a really beautiful hotel room where they have those big plush towels and they're beautifully folded, and when you walk in, it has that sense of being in a hotel room?
Yeah, I love that. And also, at one point when I was living on my own, I used to roll the towels, so they were in these giant like roll looks, and I loved the way they would look together because they would look like, I did a painting of them actually once, and they just looked like flower buds. So I would just stare at my towel rolls because I'm odd. I'm an odd chicken, but that's what I like to look at things folded or rolled, and they're nicely stacked, and it's so pretty. And yeah, it's like being in a shop or being in a hotel room, and there's a sense of luxury with it. Also, like having all those things, like sexifying the bathroom by putting things in there that are, like having the counters cleared and stuff like that. Oh, that's just wonderful. Like, I just love that. It's
beautiful.
funny. Yeah, it's a funny thing, right? But actually, cleanliness can be one of the sexiest things going. For me.
Yeah. Well, and you're not alone. And if anyone that's listening isn't into the cleaning of, I call it the deep clean of your house, then hire a cleaning company once a month to do the deep clean of bathrooms and wash your sheets that day. And just like, there's nothing more beautiful about having beautiful, clean sheets, your comforter and your blankets on your bed beautifully made so that when you come into your room at night, it's like, oh, yum. It's just beautiful. As opposed to an unmade, unkept bed. It's like never brushing your hair or never showering. It's kind of got that sense. Yeah.
That's funny. Actually, we have a friend, we have a mutual friend, Christine, and when I took my daughter to her house a couple of weeks ago, and Ziva walked into her bedroom, and she was just like, oh wow, she just loves, like, she loved her giant bed, and she was, even though our bed is the same size, her bed is like way higher, and Ziva was just like, oh, like I could just see her. She was having like ideas in her head of how she wanted to like have a more grown up bedroom. So we've been talking about sexifying her space, which is, you know, kind of sweet too. Like even though she's a kid, like she's only 9, she would really like a space that's got more of that, like more of like a luxurious feeling to it. And I think sometimes as parents with kids, we go, well, it's, you know, it's a child's bedroom, so keep it playful, but sometimes we forget to ask the kid what they actually would like too. So you could sexify your kid's space if they're looking for that too, right?
Absolutely. Or glamorize, as you said. I mean, glamorization. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can share with you a little bit. I can share with you a little bit about how to do that for anybody that has kids, because I just did that with a young girl, and she was really excited about having what she considered to be much more of a grown-up room for herself.
Oh, cute. So so what were some of the things that you made her room more grown up with?
So the first thing I did is we looked at the direction of her bed so that she could always see who was coming into the room. I'm big on having people see who comes into the room, and whether it's just sort of positioning reflective furniture or mirrors, or actually physically having the bed see who walked into the bedroom. And then we pulled the bed away from the wall, and so she could get into the bed on both sides. So that's something also that I would encourage couples to do, is change the side that they sleep on. That's very playful. You know, we get so committed to one side that if you imagine your body, the internal intestines of your body always leaning to one side, you're actually not gifting the other area of your body to sort of have the intestines flow the other way as well. So it's a very healthy thing for our bodies to switch sides, and for an individual to also just sleep in the center of the bed and move things around that way is great. And flip the mattress.
Yeah. Who knew that flipping mattresses would be part of the sexifying your space? But it totally can be, right?
Well, if you imagine wearing the same underwear and same bra for years and not actually adding something kind of fresh and new, and I even have like
them.
Well,
just the thought of that's going to make me vomit, Lisa. It's really gross. Just wearing the same underwear for years. Never wash it. Just crust it up. Try and sell it on eBay. No matter what, that underwear is pretty fantastic. Awesome.
Well, the mattresses need to be honored and flipped, and have really good mattress covers that get washed, and then you can spray the mattresses with really beautiful essential oils, so that they, as you're sleeping, and the heat of your body actually brings the essential oil up, which is really quite lovely. And so not only do you have candles burning in your room or flowers that are fragrant, but you can actually have essential oils that are sprayed into the mattress cover. And that's something that I started doing a couple of years ago. And I have, some really lovely fragrances from different countries that I've traveled with. There are flowers that I love, and so it's very subtle. It's not overpowering, and it's just really subtle. And it's like, wow, and it's a very secretive way of sexifying your bedroom.
I love that. Adding some essential oils to your bed and to your pillows too, like your pillowcases. Yeah. I like sticking my pillows outside and getting them really like freshed up in fresh air. That for me is like, then I put my head on there and I was like, it's so nice. I love that. So adding some essential oils to it too. I haven't added essential oils to my bed yet, but I do have this stuff from a company called Norwex that they have some really cool cleaning products, and they have a mattress spray that's like all natural, and it kind of like pulls the dust up. So whatever it does anyways, when you go to vacuum your mattress after you've put the spray on, like you can get way more stuff out of it. It's very gratifying.
How sexy is that?
Right? Super clean mattresses are sexy. Nothing like a clean mattress.
Well, if you can imagine, it's the largest piece of furniture in a bedroom. So when we take care of our beds and have them, I'm big on having beds off the ground. It's again, you instead of lying on the floor, and I've met people that have mattresses on the floor, it's like, okay, when are you actually going to move into your space and honor yourself and have a beautiful bed that's off the ground, raised off, and not shove things under the bed, because that's another place to hide more things to think about that talk to us. So, yeah.
So we don't have stuff under our bed anymore after you told me off for that, which was cool, which was actually a really cool insight, because you were like, hey, there's something of your ex's in your bedroom. And I was like, no, I swear I got rid of all of it. And then we changed our bed up, and I found this box of my ex's stuff hanging out under my bed. And I was like, oh my God, Lisa so freaking got that. And I didn't even think of that box, because I had like shoved it under there probably, I don't even know when. Anyway, it's no longer in the bedroom, but what we do have under our bed, we have crystals under our bed right now. So that's kind of fun. Mike loves having crystals under the bed, which kind of he has them all lined up for his for his chakras under his side of the bed. He's so cute like that. And then he's put like protective ones under my side of the bed. So we've got like an energy, we've got a playful kind of rock collection going on underneath our bed. It's kind of fun.
Wow, that's cool.
Yes.
That's cool. So tell me,
Rhonda thinks that's pretty sexy. That is kind of sexy in a funny way.
So how do you guys sleep? How do you sleep at night? Do you sleep like solidly all the way through the night?
Yeah, we sleep really good.
Awesome.
We really do, and we have some pretty intense dreams. I dream intensely. When Mike is out, he's out. He could, like, a bomb could go off and he doesn't even hear it. But he thinks that's because he said it before. He's like, I sleep really well when you're home, but not when you're not. And I'm like, I don't know about that. But he chalks it up to me being in the bed that helps him sleep. So maybe it's my energy. Maybe I'm activating the crystals. Anything's possible.
Oh, wow. Oh, cool. So maybe the next time you go out of town, have him sleep on your side of the bed.
Yeah, because I will do that when he's gone. I'll sleep on his side.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And another really fun thing to do to sexify, because I know we're coming up to Valentine's Day, if you really want to bring some fire into your relationship, for those that have relationships that are like okay and they're sort of like, you know, you get together once a week and it's because it's planned and, well, we might as well, or whatever that is, it's really fun to bring in red satin sheets.
That's what I have. We have red. Well, they're not totally satin. They're kind of like this cotton, but they have a satin stripe in them. So, ooh, you know what I mean? It's like these like stripy sheets that are half cotton, half satiny. And we've got like super red sheets, and then we have super dark purple sheets. We're all about like the sexy color sheets.
Purple is awesome as well. So it's those colors really kind of, I don't know, they just visually, colors can really inspire that fun, sexy energy in a bedroom. And if everything is what I call hospital green.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Imagine walking into someone's, or dark or brown sheets.
Like soup color.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So can you get the energy of the color and what that can, yeah. So
That's pretty
white
fun.
white sheets are fun. White sheets are fun, and then you can bring in fur, lovely fur, cozy, furry, like whether it's sheepskin throws or beautiful fur throws, like or all fur, like real fur throws.
Beautiful.
All of that, yeah, can really sexify a bedroom.
I love that. Maybe we're going to head to break, Lisa, just for fun, and we'll come back and talk more about sexifying your space after these messages.
Okay.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution, taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation by tuning in to the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. You'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for the Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255. That's TALK. Or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email at milicajelenic.com. Now back to the program.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and tonight I have a special guest. Her name is Lisa Benitz. She is a Feng Shui Master. She's also the founder of Creating Conscious Spaces, and she's a space whisperer extraordinaire. Before we jump right back into the topic of, what you can do to sexify your space, I just wondered, Lisa, if you could let the audience know about some of your upcoming classes that they could maybe take so they can have more in-depth with sexifying their whole house or their office spaces or whatever's going on there.
Yeah, thank you. So Creating Conscious Spaces is a class that I created from many years of all the modalities that I've studied, but basically it's showing people how they can communicate with their spaces and also change things in their lives so that their lives are actually co-creating with their spaces. So I facilitate around the world, and the next class that I currently have happening is in France at the end of May, beginning of June. I have one in Paris and in the south of France. And also an advanced class is coming up. So for those that have previously taken, so it's really growing. It's a worldwide movement, and anybody can connect with me through Facebook at Lisa Benitz or Infinite Energies, and I have a new Facebook group coming up called Creating Conscious Spaces that we're playing with people, and there's a weekly contest where people can win a session with me.
Wow, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
For those of you who would like some, jump on that, because that's pretty awesome. That's a highly valuable gift for those of you who don't know. So I dare you to go join Lisa's Creating Conscious Spaces on Facebook and get in those contests. And and or just call her and have a session, because she can work on your home from anywhere in the world. That's the beauty of her awareness and what she can do with spaces and her awareness and facilitating your space too. So I'm really having fun with this conversation of sexifying my space or our spaces in general. But I'm talking about my space right now. So
Okay.
when I think for most of my life, I was somebody who, like, I'm aware of tidiness, but I never really made my spaces be like sort of like sexy. Like I would never be indulgent, say like go, you're talking about like buying furs and stuff and whatever. And I only recently bought some like super indulgent thing that I would call super indulgent things that would be, kind of like a sheepskin sort of thing, which is so out of character for me, being a person who, I have a lot of points of view about sheepskin, animal skins in general. So it's really quite funny that I went off and did that. And I had to and paw the crap out of myself to actually go, I'll have that. And and I started bringing in other things, like I have some like silver candle holders in the bedroom now that I didn't have before. But I started just started to add those things where before I would have thought, well, that's like a waste of money. It's, I could spend the money on something else or just save the money and not bother, and I could just have a plain space. And then I've been listening to a lot of your shows. For one, I was transcribing them, so I listened to a lot of your shows, and it wasn't really. I think part of it struck me that it was more. It's not about the money you're spending on it, but sometimes when your space is actually more like congruent with who you are, it's almost like your space will start to contribute to all your creations. And I wasn't willing to do that before. I was judging it as like a waste, right? So just for like people listening who might also be doing that too, they might be going, well, what's the point? It's like a waste of money, so what if I have a fancy this? I really want you to ask the question though, what if you did actually add those things? What if they did contribute to? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So actually, I'm glad you asked that. So that's oftentimes when I walk into people's spaces, they put all their money or investments into when you first walk in to their entrance, to their living room, dining room, kitchen, and then what goes on behind the door in the laundry room or the garage or bathroom. Maybe a powder room looks nice, but all the other bathrooms may not. And then the bedrooms, just like you said, they're an afterthought. They're not actually, they'll close the door to their bedrooms. They oh, no, nobody's going to go into my bedroom, so I'll just close the door. And so when we have rooms in our house that are like an afterthought, you're actually not honoring you completely. It's like you said, being congruent with what it is you desire for whatever it is you're desiring in your life going forward. So if somebody's looking for a relationship and they have a bedroom that the bed's unmade, the sheets are crumpled, they're old, they're ripped, the mattress is old, it's from a previous relationship, there might be one of the lamps is working and the other one is got a bulb that's burnt out. When you lie in the bed, you look up and there's just one of those, what I call a boob light.
Yeah,
they just
I know those boob lights. Yeah.
I don't know how else to do it except
like
when you lie in bed.
It's totally.
Yeah, it's a totally flat light and there's nothing inspirational about it. So with those clients, I've always said, okay, if you were lying here and you were wanting to impress somebody and they were looking around your room, what's their first impression of you? And what would you like to change that? And so from when I lie in bed and I look up, I have a really lovely chandelier. And on that chandelier is a dimmer switch. And then I have two side tables that don't necessarily have to match, but I have lamps on them with really beautiful lampshades. And those also have, they're a three-way light. So you can have it sort of dimmed and then it goes up. And then, so there's a surface for the enjoyable other in your life to put their drink down or something beside on the side table. And
like
and
lube,
then looking
right?
well
There's like
whatever
space for
whatever
lube on the side table.
whatever
Vibrators,
floats your
lube,
boat.
toys. You got to make space for those things.
You do. Oh my God, Milica, I'm almost forgetting what show I'm on. As she blushes. Okay. And one of the things that is really lovely is how many people out there have blank walls and they haven't put any artwork up. And you don't have to spend $1 gazillion, but you can certainly go and get some really inspirational artwork. And it's not artwork that maybe has an army scene in it.
In your bedroom, right above your face, like right in your face.
Hey,
I think army scenes are ideal there.
Have
you
army
actually seen
scenes.
That? Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
That's
I've seen
sexy.
everything from from crosses to army scenes to posters, like grown men with posters from their favorite sports team, all their trophies. And it's like, okay, you might want to relook at the university posters that you had and change things up, because everything has an energy. Everything has an energy. So spend a little money, create that sexy space. And if it's not fun for you, then bring somebody else into your life that will love creating that space for you. Yeah.
Totally. When we, I'm like imagining like 40, 50-year-old men with like high school posters on their walls. I'm like, wow. I think if I walked into that bedroom and somebody had like invited me for like a makeout session into a bedroom and they had like maybe movie posters just like stuck in there with, thumbtacks, or I might really question what I'm doing there. Like, and it's not even the person, but there's like an automatic response that I would go, wow, does this person actually care about themselves? Does this person care about what they're creating in their life? Like, it would send a lot of question into my universe about what they're actually choosing. So and I think it's kind of on an unconscious level, right? So if you're wondering why, you're bringing girls back to your room and you got stains on your sheets and you got, some porn pictures tacked to your wall, that might be why they're not coming back. It's just a hint. That might be.
Or that they might never walk in.
They might never walk in because they saw like the gremlin poster on the way to the bedroom and were like, yeah, if that's there, I don't know what's in the bedroom. So, yeah.
Can I tell you that the funniest thing I saw at a client's house was an urn. So one of their
wow.
Somebody had died off in their family and they had the ashes in the bedroom. So just note to self. Oh yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
Just stating that is totally not sexy.
Yeah, that is so beyond not sexy. Oh my God. There's already entities everywhere. You just don't need the reminder with the urn. Oh boy, that's really something. Or like dead in our area, at least we've got a lot of hunters, and they love the dead animals on the walls, and they stick them in the bedroom. There's like deer heads in people's bedrooms above the bed. I'm just saying, like, you can hang from a chandelier when it's properly installed with like, and it's right, but you cannot hang from deer, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing you can do sexy with a deer head at all.
No.
Ever.
That's when you create the total hunting man cave where they can go and enjoy all their machismo things. But honestly, the bedroom is and clear everything out and only bring things into the bedroom that are going to inspire you for the kind, caring, nurturing. Really, and there's something really lovely about creating, even for men. I've walked in and they've had flowers or they've had, lovely music or candles, and it's like, wow, okay, this is quite lovely. And so don't just assume that only women are the ones that are creating that beautiful space, that there's a lot of really men that are very inspired to create that sexy space.
Oh yeah. When I first met Mike and I went off to his apartment at the time, he was in between spaces, so he was renting a place. And when I met him, and he's very tidy, which was like super sexy to begin with, and his bathroom was clean, which I was like, damn, he has a clean bathroom, that's awesome. And in his bedroom, he had, like you were saying, like he had the nightstands and he had the lights and he had the different lighting, and he had these like he loves purple, so everything, like his drapes were purple, his sheets were purple, and then he had big fuzzy things all over the bed. And you know, he had things like his like where he kept his clothes was in a corner on an angle. It was kind of nice. It created like a shape in the room, and there was no shit around. Like there was no mess. And I was like, how could I not want to have sex with you? Like your room is clean. I'm already halfway there. I'm already turned on. That can actually be like foreplay, guys. A clean bedroom is like foreplay. For crazy people like me and Lisa.
Yeah.
Clean sheets and clean bedroom are like top-notch foreplay. So.
Yes, I've actually told men in the past that I'm a bit of a space snob, that spaces really do, whether you're conscious or you can say that you're unaware, there's an energy behind everything. And so when you walk into a room and it has this funky energy, just have an awareness that there's something not quite right. Listen to your body. But when you, like as Milica said, when you walk in and you go, oh my God, she's already halfway there, there's something that really excited her body about being space within, like having the space for the other person to be in your life. That's really, in a bedroom, create the space for number two to be there with you. And, you know, it's get rid of the kids' toys. If you're reading books on how to divorce or how to, you know,
keep them there in that bedroom. That's awesome.
I would suggest having only 3 books, 3 different subjects maximum in your bedroom, not a whole pile of things, and be aware of what's listed on the books that can be also picked up energetically. So if it's like how to create a greater sex life, how to have a greater relationship, then those are books you want to have bedside in your room, and
right
not
now,
all the books.
I wanted to check what I do have in my bedroom, and right now on my nightstand I've got Pussy, a Reclamation, and I've got the J.K. Rowling book. Ziva left it in here, the newer one that I haven't read, and Salon de Femme. So maybe I'll just be removing the J.K. Rowling book for now. It was pretty cute, though. I'm like, what do I have on my nightstand? Because I haven't read those in a while. They could probably go away. So pretty funny, though, because I think, you know, we get into habits of sometimes it's like, and then you get the stack. Like I've seen people with like a stack of 40 books beside their bed or whatever. It's like, what are you actually reading? And the other ones are screaming at you. So if you put them away, then you won't hear them all night screaming at you. Like you were saying, whether you're conscious or unconscious, these things are constantly, there's energy that's communicating with us all the time.
And actually, I think it's kind of playful and fun to have the J.K. Rowling book in your room, because how magical is that? There's a playful, fun, creative energy in that. And what would Mike have?
Oh, let me check on his side. Well, yeah, he does like reading. He usually has stuff about survival for the universe stuff. He loves like survival books. But they're not in the bedroom. He keeps them in the living room. The ones that he had in the bedroom were like his most recent ones were like spiritual success books.
Oh, cool.
He likes reading about he likes channeled works, so he likes reading different things by different channelers. That's his shtick.
Awesome.
He's an interesting kind of contractor who likes channeled works and delving into things like the Illuminati. That's what he's into.
He's a spiritual contractor.
Yeah, exactly. He is, and he's funny because he will. I mean, is like you talk to spaces in his own way. He does do that too. Like I would say he's like quite a conscious contractor, and he'll like defend spaces. It's really funny, you know. If he gets like that a space is like, no, I don't want to be, you know, I don't want you to tear down the wall. He'll like defend the space and go, yeah, I don't think that this is going to work for the space to like tear down that wall. Like, why don't we try this instead? And he had actually recently we did a project. I was helping him out on a project, and it was a huge project. It lasted for months, but it started off as something pretty small. It was just going to be painting and then redoing floors, and then he did kind of tell the people that it's like, if you want this space to last and bring you money, this is what you're going to need to do. So yeah, he's kind of like the contractor who talks on behalf of the spaces and gets them in this space of like what they would actually like to be, which is really fun to watch what he does with that, and the transformation that occurs is phenomenal. It's pretty cool.
Wow, I love that. I love that.
I know,
one last thing I was.
Fun.
Can I just mention one last thing for the bedroom that I love is windows. So windows, when you look at windows, you can have blinds that come from the bottom up so that you're still allowing natural light, because I love moonlight and starlight and the natural, waking up with the natural flow of the sunlight. And then if you're working at nights and you have to sleep during the day, then you can get blackout blinds and then beautiful curtains to go above, you know, over top of something called a functional blackout blind. But play with windows. You can also get what you like a little bit of a film that you put on the glass that allows natural light in, but you can't see, or people can't look in. So it sort of gives privacy, and yet it brings in natural light. I'm big on bringing in. Yeah.
Like
it's
an
gorgeous.
etched look. Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah. In our bedroom we have full on natural light, but it's the way our house is positioned. We don't actually have blinds on our windows because of the way our roof overhangs. We only get it's only midday that we actually get a lot of sunlight in the bedroom. Like in the morning, we don't really get that, and in nighttime, it's just the way the position of the house. So we only get it midday, so it's kind of cool that way. But it would be kind of nice to like wake up with the sun coming up at the same time. But we don't have that yet. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I like the idea of the blinds from the bottom up, because there's I think that would actually be fun just to have. We have some other rooms in the house that could use that. So that's kind of cool. I just hadn't considered. Maybe we just installed them upside down, or I'm not sure. We'll see what happens.
They actually have ones that come from the bottom up.
So they go that way.
It's just
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you so much, Lisa, for coming on and talking about sexifying your space. For the people who would like to find you, they can find you on, it's infiniteenergies.ca, correct?
Yes.
Or is it Infinite Energies? Yeah.
infiniteenergies.ca, and then I have a Facebook page that's that, as well as Lisa Benitz, or Lisa at infiniteenergies.ca is, you can email me. I consult people around the world with regard to their spaces. I actually have to walk into their space to actually speak to their space.
Cool. Very, very cool. So find her. Definitely check out Lisa. Check out her shows too, Infinite Energies. She's on Fridays live. But you can find her archives as well under Infinite Energies. She's got probably as many archives as I have. I think we've been on as long as each other, over. Yeah, as long. Yeah, I think you've been on since around the same time as I have, I think. So lots of archives, I'm sure.
Thank you for choosing to listen to The Pleasure Zone. Milica Jelenic will return next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have the best week of your life by choosing to be turned on and tuned in to your body.